Hey, this is Andrew Brown. In this video, we're going to take a look at Azure AI Form Recognizer. So let's go over to Azure AI Services. And underneath, we should have something for Form Recognizer. So I'm just trying to find where that is. Um, oh, it's called Document Intelligence. Okay, so that is what we're going to utilize there. And now we're just double check to make sure that it appears as a possible endpoint for us under here. So we're going to go here, and yes, it is. So we can use our unified API. Now, I did this 3 years ago with the free AI 900. Whether you're doing the AI 900 or the AI 102, you're going to want to know how to do this. But let's go ahead and see if we can take this older example that worked totally fine and move it over, because as far as I can tell, it's still using this API, and this one actually has a much more modern format than the Cognitive Services API. So we should be able to just use this wholesale, and it should just work. The only key difference is that we're going to use the unified API here. Okay. So what I want to do is get my compute started up here as per usual. And sometimes this happens where I can't click start, so just give it a hard refresh here. And we will, whoops, click here. Maybe what I did is I clicked this one by accident. Nope, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes happens. And so I'll spin that up and wait for our Jupyter Notebook to become available, okay? All right, so our environment is up and running. Let's go ahead and launch Jupyter Labs. And I believe what we did here for Form Recognizer is that we would feed it in a receipt and OCR that information. So we're going to do the exact same thing here. We'll hit build, let it do whatever it wants here. Give this a moment here. And I think before I called this, yeah, Form Recognizer, it is the Document Intelligence API. But just so that it's less confusing, I'm going to call it Form Recognizer here. So we'll make a new folder here, calling it Form Recognizer. And in here, I'm going to just make a new notebook called Form Recognizer. Once the CPU decides to stop complaining so much, we'll go with 3.10 here. I'll say Form Recognizer. There we go. And so we should be, for the most part, able to port this code over. So the first thing we'll want to do is do a pip install. Still don't remember why I was installing it that way with the additional line. There must have been a good reason for that at the time. So we'll do that. And so that will get Form Recognizer installed. And then the next thing will be our imports. Yep, that makes sense. So we'll go ahead and grab these. I do not remember what PIL is. Must be a way of working with images. Python, let's go take a look here. Is a Python image library. Okay, sounds good. Works for me. Next, we'll need to get our key. So this should be pretty much the same. Okay, well, obviously it's not cognitive key anymore, but we'll go over and grab these as per usual. So in our Azure AI Services, I'm going to grab my key. And we will paste that in there. And we also need the endpoint. So down below, we'll grab the Document Intelligence one over here and paste that on in. And we'll continue on with our stuff. So we'll need our client. Nothing new here. We'll go down here and we'll grab our path. And then we will try to analyze this here. Good. So yeah, we're going to get that receipt. This is just going to go plainly into here. I'm not going to have a path like this. And here it says we're going to open that file. And then it's going to begin to recognize the receipt. We're going to get a results. And then the last thing here we're going to do is print out our results. So we have a few prints here. Anyway, we'll run them here in just a second, but we need to get that image in here. So in the old free AI 900, if we go to Assets and we go to OCR, we can go ahead and grab our receipt. Clearly, we have a lot of things that we can OCR here, which makes me think that when I did this originally, No, I guess it would have been for the form, because in OCR we probably did more examples. Yeah, handwriting. Yeah, exactly. So for form writing, or for the for the receipt, we'll just download this individual receipt. So here we have one. I think I just pulled it off the internet. It's nothing fancy. It's clearly from a very long time ago, and so we're going to want to upload that. So go over to here, and remember the upload button is here. I'm going to pause, so I'm not exposing all of my directories here, but just be back and upload it. There we go. So we have our receipt in place. And let's go ahead and just start running the rest here. So we will run our imports, and we'll run our keys once this is done importing. There we go. And then we'll run the client, and then we'll run the receipt. Sometimes we've had to say relative here. I'm not sure why, but we'll see if that's still an issue here. And no, it's no issue. Okay, great. It's really nice when you can pull up code from 3 years ago and it still works, no problem. That makes me happy. But that's not always the case. Some of these labs we had to redo. And then obviously there's a lot more changes there. So we'll go ahead and run this. So that is the actual structure of the data. So if we actually want to get anything useful out here, we'll grab the fields. If we go here and take a look, you'll see there's fields. Okay, we'll run that. I can, by the way, I can hit enter. I keep going up here, or maybe it's like shift enter. Yeah, I keep hitting this button here. It's just out of habit. But here we're getting a little bit more information, and so we're going to go ahead and just grab something in particular here. Right, and we get the merchant name. So just carefully look at this, and you can see, like here it says get merchant name. But, you know, if we want to do something like the merchant phone number, we could probably just swap this out here as such, right, and get that number. So hopefully that is clear, and that pretty much demonstrates the form recognizer. Very easy. So I'll just go ahead and clear this out. We'll call this one done. And yeah, I'll just go ahead, reset this, get it into the repo, and then we'll just stop our environment here. We can move on. So just go back a step here, and whoop, go ahead and download these two. I don't need to download the receipt, I already have it. So we'll go ahead and download this. And I'll just open this, hit period for github.dev. Okay, and I'll just make a new folder here. This will just be form recognizer. And we'll bring in that notebook and that image there, okay? So those are now both there. Yeah, I'll just commit that. Easy, super easy. Okay, great. Yeah, and we'll just go ahead and stop our compute there, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Ciao.